All right, testing time for two leaders. Newly elected South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol in his first major appearance on the world stage. Or he's hosting Joe Biden, who is in Asia for his first trip to the region as U.S. president. Mr. Biden met President Yoon at a Samsung factory in the southern city of Pyeongtaek. The trip comes at a delicate time for both leaders, with Washington supporting Ukraine in its war with Russia and Seoul facing a slew of missile tests from North Korea. Some reports suggest Pyongyang may even conduct a test during the U.S. leader's visit itself. For this, Lim Yoon-suk joins us live from Seoul. Yoon-suk, this is Mr. Biden's first visit to the region since taking office. What is the significance of South Korea being the first stop of this trip?
Well, this shows the importance the Biden administration places in South Korea as its ally in this region and also an important strategic partner in the Indo-Pacific, especially since South Korea is believed to give its support to President Biden's Indo-Pacific strategy, which he is expected to discuss further when he goes to Japan after this trip. Now, also, President Biden making South Korea his first stop will send a very strong message to North Korea. Some of the experts here are saying that the U.S. affirming the strong U.S. security commitment to defend South Korea from North Korea, including the U.S. extended nuclear umbrellas, sends a strong message. And this is very important right now since the United States and South Korea believe that North Korea's nuclear test is imminent and that Pyongyang could carry out a nuclear test or one of its new missiles, the long-range missile test while President Biden is here in Asia. So, so far, very quiet here on the Korean Peninsula, and it's unsure if North Korea will actually go ahead with this nuclear test when President Biden is here. But there are some experts saying that since the focus right now is on President Biden here in Asia, North Korea could see this as an excellent opportunity to prove to the international community and to show them that it is truly a nuclear state. And so I'm sure this is something that the two leaders will be discussing when they meet later on Saturday afternoon. And it's very likely that they will have a joint statement out showing how ironclad their alliance is and that the U.S. will be standing firmly behind South Korea to deter any threats from the north.
Yoon-suk, another key theme of Mr. Biden's visit is said to be highlighting Washington's foothold in the region amid growing Chinese influence. What could be on the agenda?
Well, yes, when President Biden landed here at the Osan Air Base late Friday afternoon, just outside of Seoul, he went straight to the world's largest semiconductor facility, and that's the Samsung campus, and where he was met with the South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol and also the Vice Chairman of Samsung, Lee Jae-yong. And, on this trip, we've heard several times from the South Korean officials saying that as important as the security alliance between the two countries is this technology alliance. And this is something that the two leaders are expected to discuss further when they meet on Saturday afternoon, because both leaders see the need to create this new global supply chain for semiconductors and other components so that they don't have to rely too heavily on China. Now, there are rising concerns here that perhaps after this trip, South Korea's relations with China could be strained as South Korea is expected to support the U.S. Indo-Pacific strategy. But, this morning when President Yoon Suk-yeol was entering his office, the presidential office, there were reporters there asking him about this. And he was saying that really wasn't necessary to look at this from a zero-sum perspective, and that South Korea just needs to strengthen good economic ties with China as well. So I think this administration of Yoon Suk-yeol wants to treat relations separately and not give that image that it's against China or that it's siding only with the United States, because the South Korean government realizes that it needs to maintain good ties with both countries.
All right, thanks so much for all that. Lim Yoon-suk in Seoul.